Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over gold and silver, do some technical analysis, give you my financial opinion. Should not be used as advice. We'll go over the dollar, the 10-year yield, give you my opinions there, and then we'll go over some ETFs and maybe some individual companies to see what they're doing. I'm going to be looking at a short-term and long-term picture view. So let's jump in. I'll give you my opinion. So the first, we're going to start with the dollar index and gold. Dollar was basically flat today. Gold was down a little bit. And I'm suspecting that the 10-year yield had something to do with it. So let's look at the 10-year yield. 10-year yield's moving on up. We're coming on up here. We're going to try to break this downtrend line. It looks like it wants to break. We've got all this supporting evidence down here with wicks in the bottom. Nice little bounce, popped higher, hit its head, created a higher low, bullish engulfing, nice big candlestick up days. I think we're going to break here any second. And I do think that a rising 10-year yield will eventually be positive for gold because it's going to cause the rotation of money out of bonds and stocks eventually. And it will seek precious metals and commodities. But it's going to take time. It's going to rotate the money. And I don't know necessarily what that exactly looks like. I know some people asked, if we have a market go down, is it going to bring commodities with it? Maybe in the beginning, maybe not. It is tough to say what that dynamic's going to look like. Here's gold, the price of gold as a chart. I'd like to see 1840 break and close above it. Because we've got, we'll call it a high, a lower high, a lower high. And I don't want this to roll back over. I'd like to break this trend of lower highs. So 1840, line in the sand. Silver, I'd like to see silver break 2650. I know that's up there quite a bit from where we are today. We do have a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, which means that it statistically wants to go higher. It could be a bottoming pattern here. We got a nice little small controlled down day today. So I do think the buyers could push this higher, and I think we could get to 25 pretty quick if we wanted to. So that's good. Platinum, we're still in the downtrend as well. We got to turn this around and start moving on up. We do barely have a bullish engulfing pattern here, so we could potentially move on higher. Looks like a little hammer pattern, not a great hammer pattern, but we'll see if the buyers step in. Now, palladium's painting a little bit different picture, in my opinion. I think it looks pretty bearish. We've got nice big selling candlesticks all through here. The selling pressure's big. I think this looks like a topping pattern to me, and I think eventually we'll see this head lower. So that's what I think in palladium. And then I think what's going to happen, we need palladium. We need a metal to do opposite of our other metals. So we need one to be weak when the others are strong so we can rotate into something later on. Palladium is usually that metal. So I think we'll see strength in platinum, gold, and silver. And I think we'll see weakness in palladium and probably rhodium as well. GDX, looking at it from the near term, we still have a lot of downside momentum. It's looking a little bit better with a wick, kind of a hammer type pattern. Maybe we can get some buyers to be enticed to buy something here. But the momentum is to the downside. On a big picture view, we're right at the support. We don't want to break through this and just jet lower. We want to hold here. Hold here, move sideways, do a couple of bounces, and then potentially move higher eventually. SILJ, again, lots of downside momentum here. Lots of momentum downward. We do have a little wick, a little hammer type pattern developed today. We could potentially move on up tomorrow. We'll see. Big picture view, we're right at support. We're getting there. And this is a second support line. So I came through here with some hits all through here. So hopefully we can hold this line and we can try turning this train around. EXK, looking at it from, this is a silver company, coming on down, and we're still coming lower. Downside momentum, and we got to break this downtrend. Breaking the downtrend first. That's what we need to do. We haven't broken this downtrend either, and we need to break it. Actually, let me see what we got here. Let me draw something in, because it does look like it's broken. Looks like we did break the downtrend. make it a little fatter so it's easier to see. We did break the downtrend, and we're back testing, so hopefully we can get some buyers to step in here and push this higher. Fingers crossed. First Majestic Silver on a big long-term picture view. This is a back test. We could be doing a back test here where we have a massive move coming higher at some point. So that actually looks pretty good on a long-term perspective. Hecla Mining, again, we've got this downtrend. We got a nice hammer pattern, which means we could be heading higher. Big picture view, we are back testing or retesting on this massive pattern all the way back into the 80s. This could be a monster move coming up eventually. It's going to take time to play out, but you know what? I like buying the retests. Right here doesn't look too bad from a big long-term perspective. AUY, we're still chugging sideways on AUY, more of a gold type company. This is a lower high, lower high, lower high. We want to break that lower high trend. I think if we can get above 460, 470, we're kind of breaking out of that trend. Franco-Nevada, it's still in an uptrend for Franco-Nevada on a big picture view. We've got some near-term weakness. It looks like it's starting to firm up a little bit down here at about 142. Let's see the buyers step in. Hopefully they do. And Wheaton Precious Metals, another royalty company, coming on, and we're basically moving sideways here. We got a nice little hammer pattern. Probably buyers will step in, hopefully tomorrow, and push this a little bit higher. I'd say, we'll get moving if we get above 47. But overall, it looks like on a big picture view, we're doing some back test, retest type stuff. I usually like buying those, and they've worked out pretty well from a statistical probability perspective. They're usually pretty dead on. So I think big picture view, it looks good. Medium picture view looks okay. Short-term view, we still got to see some buyers step in here. And hopefully that happens, and hopefully it occurs. And what hopefully sparks that is the 10-year yield going higher. I know everybody thinks that yields going higher is negative for gold. I don't think it necessarily is. When you see gold, it's usually almost with an increasing interest rate environment. It entices people to sell bonds and stocks and rotate into something else. And I think that something else is precious metals and commodities. So that's what I'm hoping for. Now we just have to see it happen. We have to see this all play out. And what we're doing is watching it real time. I've taken my positions. I'm in gold and silver, and I'm just holding on. I own a lot of physical. I own a lot of the mining companies, and I own mutual funds and ETFs and all sorts of stuff. So if gold and silver has good times, my portfolio is going to have good times as well. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.